What's up developers, I'm ThatOneUnityDev, and today I'll be walking you through how to create a bestiary in Unity. Bestiary or bestiary, the age-long debate. How should you pronounce it? Although this may come to a shock to most of you, according to Google it is in fact pronounced
Bestiary.
Whether you pronounce it correctly or give up entirely and go with the Monster Handbook or Codex is up to you though. Whatever you decide to call it, since you clicked on the video, you've probably seen them in video games at least once. Bestiaries are a catalog of creatures or monsters with a little bit of text next to them. Whether it's just flavor text or strengths and weaknesses, almost any RPG game stands to benefit from the inclusion of them. So, without further ado, let's open up Unity and take a look at a simple way to include them in your project. In Unity, you'll see that I already have a project open. Don't let this overwhelm you though, it's just the example I made for my How to Make Health Bars video. In this project, I have a very basic player controller, a health bar, and of course, the star of today's video, this slime.
Here you see the green slime in his natural habitat. What as the young adventurer makes the first move? Green slime responds, lumping towards adventure. And with one swing of his sword, the adventurer has defeated the green slime.
As you can see, I have a very basic combat system implemented. The only important part is the death of the green slime. We will use this to trigger the update in our bestiary, unlocking the slime's information. Before we can do any of that though, we need to actually make the bestiary. To do this, I go into my canvas and create a new empty object called bestiary. I then start adding some UI images and text as children and start moving them, scaling them, and recoloring them. I'm now finished making the bestiary and it looks pretty good. There are a few things to note while making your own though. In my hierarchy, you will notice that I have the green slime's entry as a separate child object. This can be enabled and disabled to reveal the information. The next thing to note is that this is a UI button. This is important because now we can add some simple functionality. By dragging and dropping the green slime's entry into the button slot, we can use the default setActive function to enable the entry when it is clicked. I keep the entry disabled. Now, when I hit play, I don't see the entry, and when clicked, the entry pops up. Perfect. But this basic functionality isn't going to scale very well. Instead, what we can do is create a new bestiary script on our canvas. In Visual Studios, you can see that I created a very simple script. All we are doing is creating an array of enemies, which we'll drag and drop in the inspector. And in this function, we are going to turn all entries inactive except the one that we choose. We will add more to the script in a moment, but for now, let's go back into Unity and try it out. After dragging my slime entry into the inspector, I can once again go to my slime button and instead drag in the canvas, and since this is the first entry, I will enter 1 into this field. Now, when we hit play, we can see we pretty much have the exact same thing as before. The main difference is we can now add a bunch more entries in and they will turn themselves off when we click a different enemy. Now, on to the next part of the bestiary, only making the green slime entry accessible when we have defeated at least one green slime. To do this, we will go back into the bestiary script, and you can see I have added a new using statement at the top, and yet another array. This time, it is of type button. In the new function I created, we simply change the button we specify to be interactable. But what does that mean? Well, because we are using buttons that come pre-built in with a handy interactable feature. This is this checkbox in the inspector, which, when checked, disables the button from being clicked and turns it a different color. We can default the green slime button to be non-interactable, and in your enemy script, you can find the canvas, get the bestiary script, and run this function when the slime is defeated. Since the green slime is going to be the first entry in my buttons array, I put a 1 in the brackets. Back in Unity, I drag and drop my green slime button into the buttons array of our bestiary script. Now, when I hit play, you can see my slime button is non-interactable, and when I kill the green slime, it turns interactable and I can now click it. This is a very good start for a bestiary, and although there are definitely more optimal ways to go about it, this is the most beginner-friendly method I could think of that should still allow you to create an expansive system. I've quickly added in a couple more enemies and a few bits of polish, and you would never know that it's all running on only a few lines of code. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and maybe even learned a thing or two. Don't forget to leave a comment, it really goes a long way to show YouTube that this video is helpful. And if you're new to the channel, don't be shy, come check out the Discord. We've built a wonderful community who all help each other out, and I could always use some video suggestions and feedback. But that's all the time we have for this video. Thanks for watching and staying until the end. Bye!
Bestiary.